The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today's webinar on our Marketing Automation Bootcamp. This is the second phase of our bootcamps that we have been doing with Brandon Contreras, the Manager of Global Channel Development at Act-On. And we're happy to have Brandon here today, and we're happy to have all of you here as well. So with that, Brandon, I'm going to pass it over to you.
Thanks so much, Jesse, and again, thank you all for carving some time out of your day today to jump into this second phase of what we're calling our Marketing Automation Bootcamp. This particular phase, we promise that we are going to dive headlong into the Act-On platform. Just a brief overview of today's agenda. We're going to start with a emphasis on very quick review of marketing automation, what brings us to the table. Again, just a review on an overarching definition of marketing automation. 2 slides, no more. We're then going to move into online marketing tactics, a disparate view. This is the view of most organizations. This is what most organizations today are experiencing, marketing tactics deployed from a variety of platforms, disjoined, disconnected. From there, we'll immediately transition into quite possibly what could be a Zen state of marketing, where all of your marketing tactics are conjoined, all of your marketing efforts are consolidated. We're going to view the aggregate of all marketing tactics, which can be defined again as true marketing automation. From there, we'll transition right into the platform. I will demonstrate our offering. We'll deep dive, depending on the lively Q&A and hand raises and questions as the platform is shown and specific marketing tactics are tackled. And then quite finally, we'll open it up to the entire audience for just overarching questions and answers and carry on from there. As promised, brief review of marketing automation. Marketing automation can include a way to consolidate all marketing efforts. Again, most organizations right now have a disconnected or disjoined type of a system in place, but certain tactics, email marketing, lead nurturing, list management, most of which you can see here, all encompass marketing automation. The not-so-textbook definition that you'll remember from if you took part in first phase, consolidating all of your online marketing tactics into one platform, giving you concise, in real-time information regarding behavior and engagement. Some samples of how marketing automation can be used: topic-oriented lead nurturing, after-sales support, training of employees, areas where organizations can benefit from using marketing automation. And again, moving into where organizations and what organizations have in place now by way of online marketing. Most organizations are going to have some form of blog page, blog posts. They're sending out thought leadership. They have a website. They're broadcasting information on social media. They have email lists of current clients and prospects, quite possibly databases that they've purchased from list providers, etc. Maybe the website becomes their central location where all of their thought leadership is housed and stored, and you see all of the varying things that play into the site. Search, pay-per-click, email, social, and the like. And again, all your online marketing tactics, again, most organizations all your online marketing tactics are being launched from disparate platforms. There is a disconnect that exists. Quite possibly you're using an email service provider and you're receiving detailed reports that look like this. Again, fill in the blank with that particular email service provider. MailChimp, Constant Contact, Exact Target, what have you. And you're seeing who you sent email to, who opened it, and who clicked through. Great information. Even further, you might do educational webinars using, I don't know, fill in the blank, WebEx, GoToWebinar, any other online event management tool, and you're seeing information with regard to people that register. And again, good information, yet disconnected from the email information that we saw in the first picture. Twitter, you're broadcasting information out to social media on Twitter, and you're seeing tweets, retweets, replies, mentions, further shares, but nothing to compare the data to. Lastly, most organizations employ Google Analytics, a great tool to see statistics and analytics on who's visiting your site, what's being looked at, specific pages, what pages are getting the most action and activity, solid data and information. Again, disconnected. Personal anecdotes, personal experiences in working with organizations and coming across the marketing coordinator, marketing director even, that says, yeah, you know what, we have a way to compare information because we'll do an email blast and quickly bring up our Google Analytics dashboard to see what's working and what's not. Fabulous, great, outstanding, arduous. Or they'll broadcast information on Twitter with a link to a specific page and quickly compare that to, again, Google Analytics in one tab, maybe a Twitter dashboard of some kind in another, comparing and contrasting information. Great, arduous. What about the consolidation? That moves us briskly, as promised, into the Act-On platform. Cloud-based, single sign-on, marketing team is given user IDs and passcodes. They're launched into this home screen that you're seeing here.
Hey, Brandon,
and from
Jesse.
Yeah, Jesse.
I had a chat come in, and it's a question that comes up a lot, and I just wanted to make sure, I'm sure you're going to go there, but we always keep getting this question, what's the difference between Act-On and Google Analytics? So, you know, I'm just kind of glad that you led into that, and I just wanted to plant that in the forefront of your mind because, you know, it's something that we're always getting. People are always asking.
Yes.
Us, so.
Yes, certainly. As Google Analytics seems to be that particular standard of website traffic and the like, where does Act-On play? What is the difference? How does Act-On use that data? Number one, I'm going to just answer the chat head on, and I am going to peel this back even further. We integrate with Google Analytics, okay? That's not to say that our website visitor tracking feature needs Google Analytics to function. In fact, our website visitor tracking feature stands alone, and it's Google Analytics 5X. But what is the difference? Google Analytics is going to show you traffic to specific pages. Great data. Act-On is also going to show you traffic to specific pages. But through a cookie mechanization, we're going to show you who in your database, first name, last name, email address, is visiting which specific pages, when they're there. We can go as far as sending you an in real-time alert, letting you know that a specific decision maker from within your database is on your pricing page, as an example. And again, we'll peel that back. Getting back to the consolidation of marketing tactics into one application. You could see from the quick start menu on this slide, and again, we're going to jump into this. All of your online marketing efforts are launch, managed, tracked from one application. I won't belabor each and every one on this slide, but from within Act-On, you could launch email campaigns. You can create web forms, landing pages. All of your website visitor tracking is done through the website prospector. We have a way to construct automated programs, store media assets in a media library, publish to social media, keep our finger on the tabs of the competition. Straightforward, easy to use, easy to understand, style, platform, and application. What is the importance of consolidating all information, success, failure, statistics, analytics of marketing tactics into one application? This is the diamond of what we bring to the table. All the way down to a person that resides in your database, we are keeping book on them. We are keeping a behavioral profile on all activity and engagement of an individual with your marketing information across all channels. We're going to peel into this when I open up the platform. What does this behavioral profile show? How many times a specific individual in your database visited your site, all the way down to the specific pages they took a look at? What search terms they used prior to arriving on the site? What were they looking for? What were they thinking about prior to executing a click onto your homepage? Huge, very compelling information. Email activity, sent opens and clicks, viewed and submitted forms, registered and attended webinars, media downloads. We're applying a scoring feature to this, which I'll peel back on. Into the platform itself. I'm going to operate out of one tab. This is a live as live can be demo environment. All the features and functions, for the most part, except for some of my social features are turned off, is a live application. And again, from here in the Quick Start menu, all of your online marketing tactics can be launched, managed, and tracked from one location. Email campaigns. This is our email service provision. This is not an add-on from somebody else. This is not a separate style email platform that we tacked on into this application. In fact, our history and pedigree is deeply rooted in email, all the way back to roughly the late 80s, early 90s. You can create and deploy web forms anytime you would like somebody in your database or users on your site to complete information, whether they be a survey, contact me form, they sign up to download information. You can create and deploy a web form. Great for users, great for individuals when they arrive on your site, giving them the opportunity to self-identify upon arrival, or to self-identify to access thought leadership or specific information on your site. Landing pages, powerful, strong, for social media posts, posts to LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter. You're going to get statistics and analytics as to who is visiting these specific landing pages and clicks they make on certain landing pages. The website prospector. This is the first one I'm going to dive into, not only because of the question with regard to Google Analytics, but it's going to lead to connectivity into other topics. Our website prospector. What do we do? First, and many of you on the call may be familiar with this, we provide you with 4 lines of HTML to place in the footer area of the global template of your site. Upon doing this, Act-On sees your site is now connected with your website. It sees all pages. Do you have to paste this page by page by page? No. Typically, your website is constructed with a global template. If placed in the header or footer, this will populate across all pages. When that code is placed, we are now tracking everybody that visits your site. When that code is placed, immediately everybody visiting your site is going to fall into an anonymous category. We do not know who they are as of yet. Act-On has no way to connect the dots as of yet. But we are providing you with some very valuable information for either you, sales staff, sales development representatives to do some research as to who they are. As I hover over an anonymous visitor, what Act-On is showing you is the name of the organization that they're coming from. I could Google search this company. I can compare and contrast my connections on LinkedIn. Quite possibly somebody in that sphere of influence could introduce me to a decision maker that makes decisions on products and services that I offer inside of Cisco. We also have a data integration where you could look up specific contacts inside of organizations, import from this data source, and send off an introductory email. Valuable. Valuable to know and see which businesses are producing visits on your site. And again, this particular tab right here, similar to what you're seeing in Google Analytics. What you're not seeing in Google Analytics, something we provide, is this Known tab. These are individuals from your database. We're showing you when they're on your site and what pages they're taking a look at. How does Act-On get this information? Well, number one, we talked about the placement of the code. That connects your site to your Act-On account. A person would surface as a known individual inside of Act-On when they do one of 2 things. Number one, they submit a form. We talked briefly about a form submit. They fill out a Contact Me form. They sign up to download something. They sign up to register for an event. Upon submission of that specific form, Act-On connects the know everywhere they've been up to that form submit and everywhere they end up going after. Huge, powerful, compelling information. That's one way. The other way an individual would surface as a known entity inside of Act-On is through email. You are quite possibly sending out large email broadcasts to prospects and to clients alike. And these individuals are opening your email messages and they're clicking on something inside of those emails. When that behavior takes place using Act-On, Act-On connects the dots. We know everywhere that person has been prior to that behavior. We keep track of everywhere they go after that. And here in this known tab, you could see, again, in real time, leads and contacts of yours, when they're on your site, and what specific pages they're taking a look at.
Hey, Brandon, I just got a ping on a question. Does William Taylor here or Jim Bonovich, do they see anything on the site or anything on their end that makes it so they know that this type of activity is being tracked? I mean, or are they totally oblivious and, just looks like any other site and that type of concept?
They do. In North America, they do not know. In certain countries, in the European Union, there are track, do not track information that's populated on a website to let the individual know that their behavior is being monitored.
Right. So the idea is, I guess the question is, their customers or their users aren't going to be alienated in any way if this type of tracking is happening. Is kind of where they were going.
No. And no, absolutely not. It looks just like your site would look now. The experience does not change. There are no warnings or issues or any type of alerts that would, lead a person one way or the other. Interestingly enough, from the consumer standpoint, and maybe the virtual head nod is going to take place when I say this next statement, we're very familiar with this from the consumer standpoint. When we're on, I don't know, whether it be Facebook, Amazon, eBay, the financial institutions, the airlines, they're monitoring and tracking every link, every page we visit. It's no coincidence that when I am on Amazon.com, I quite possibly could get a screen that says something to the effect of, Brandon, you just purchased the Hunger Games. People that have purchased the Hunger Games have also looked at these particular items, 1, 2, 3, 4. And maybe one or two of those items is interesting, and I take a look at it. I don't know. Marketing automation. Historically, this type of technology has only been accessible to large organizations like the airlines, financial institutions, eBay, Amazon, fill in the blank with large behemoth-style organizations. Now, with Act-On, you have the ability to use the exact same technology. Hope that answers that particular ping.
Thanks, Brennan.
And continuing, again, leads and contacts inside your database that are interacting with your information are shown here. Let's briefly talk about how this can sync with your database or how it can function in a standalone fashion. This particular demo environment is connected to SugarCRM. Out of the box, we integrate with a variety of CRM, and we're going to mirror leads and contacts and target lists from Sugar. A mirror image of whatever's in Sugar is going to exist here in Act-On. What you get further is the ability inside of Act-On to create specific segments, specific buckets of this population. I like showing this off because it's a very valuable feature. The ability to create a unique segment or bucket of my SugarCRM leads by simply clicking Create a Segment. I could give the segment a creative name. And I would use a query method. I could create a specific group of individuals based on profile data and or behavior. Why would I want to do this? Marketing to individuals based on the utmost amount of specificity and relevance to their profile, their demographic, any type of profile data that you have, and behavior is about as specific and relevant as you can get. We provide you the ability to create these buckets inside of the application. I can attach some profile data to it. These are going to be your field values from SugarCRM in this case. So I could say, show me everybody whose title equals director. And of course, the more of these I add, the more specific by way of profile this person becomes. Directors in a state of California, 916 area code, company size greater than 250, less than 700, and on and on and on. Powerful, useful. Show me all directors that have exhibited a specific set of behavior over a particular period of time. Show me all directors in the last 60 days that have, here's some standard behavior. You could also customize, create custom behaviors as well. But for the sake of our example, again, keeping it pretty straightforward, show me all directors that have open messages, clicked on specific messages, downloaded media assets from our site. They looked at a specific product specification that I have a PDF of. Show me all directors that visited specific web pages. Some of these web pages. And again, by placing that code on your site, Act-On is going to produce all of the page titles, so it's a nice searchable here for me. Show me all directors that have viewed my pricing pages, whether it's euros, pounds, or overarching, all-encompassing pricing page. Before I click Save, this is a very unique group of individual. Have to be a director, have to have viewed one or more of these specific pricing pages. In fact, let's even just go back and rename this. And now it's going through that database. And again, demo environment, but I think this drives the point home nonetheless. Show me all directors that have viewed specific pricing pages. Now that I have this segment, I have the ability to send a one-off message to it. Can my message to this group be very specific and relevant? You bet. Again, depending on the specific criteria of this segment, I could get even more specific and relevant. And there's a one-off email. Let's jump back to the front side of the platform because I want to show off some more automation. Now that I've created that pricing page that directors have visited, what do I want to do with it? Well, Act-On provides you the ability to create automated workflows, automated programs that are running in the background. These could be as easy as straightforward as your standard drip campaign. And just by way of review, a standard drip campaign could be something as simple as send an email, wait 5 days, send another email, wait, send, wait, send, wait, send. Everybody receives the same content in the same clip in time. Standard. Generic drip campaign. What you're actually seeing here could be considered more of a lead nurturing style sequence, more of a lead nurturing style workflow. where when we turn this on and attach it to a specific audience, maybe the directors that viewed pricing, what's going to happen? It's going to send out that welcome message. It's going to wait for a specific week. It's going to wait for 1 week. Not specific. And it's going to take some further action based on behavior and engagement with the initial message. If the person opens the welcome message in any way, shape, or form, we have to believe that that individual is, just by way of that behavior and engagement, interested, and we're immediately going to offer up a product data sheet. Again, demo environment. This is an example, but I think it drives the point home nonetheless. We offer up an email that contains a product data sheet. We wait a couple of days, and we even have a further conditional branch. So you see, this is driving a person down the pathway, variety of calls to action, but we're going to have an overarching one here. If they downloaded the product data sheet, well, heck, that's further interest. We're going to immediately offer up a webinar invitation. Wait 2 days. We're going to add them to our list of invited to webinar, and we're going to exit the program. Mission accomplished. If individuals don't meet this specific criteria, if they don't open the message, well, they go down here. We send maybe the same email with a different subject line, maybe a different email with similar content. The world is our oyster here, but we're just basically following up with individuals that haven't taken any action. We wait a longer clip in time, and again, now we're just dripping to these individuals. We have to assume that there's no hand raise happening. The beauty here is this is turn it on, leave it on. This is running in the background. Nobody slips through the cracks. How do we tie this automated program together with that list of directors that viewed our pricing page? Well, we need a program source list to run this automated program. Let's add those directors that viewed pricing. Key to note, there aren't any directors. There's nobody that meets this criteria right now. There are no directors that have viewed our pricing page. But what happens when one does? Well, when a director views one of our pricing pages, they're dropped into this segment, and now this segment is attached to this automated workflow, and those individuals are going to be sent down that path towards that webinar invite.
I'll just interject, Brandon, a little bit of personal experience. You know, this function here is one of the functions that we really love as Act-On users of FabiusG, and you know, it's just really this function alone just automated like months of communications, and I can set up these programs in a matter of 5 to 10 minutes and have a month of communications that are automatically ready to go to nurture our audience, and it's just totally revolutionized the way we communicate with our clients and prospects. So just a little personal experience on this function.
Yeah, thanks for that. Just to kind of piggyback on what Jesse's mentioning, I'm in the actual program flow and I'm in edit mode. And everything here is all drag and drop. So right now, at the very start of this automated program, I'm sending a welcome message. I'm waiting for a week. I'm seeing if individuals that open the message, I'm going to take them down a separate path. But maybe I want to put on the front side, maybe after this welcome message, maybe a little bit of a longer drip sequence where I'm sending out a couple of messages. And I say, maybe after this initial welcome message, why don't we put a wait step in here of 3 days. I can wait as short as 10 minutes. I don't necessarily wouldn't want to do that in this particular program. Hours, days, weeks. In this case, let's just wait 3 days. Put a little reminder here that this is a wait step of 3 days. And then send maybe another form of a introductory style message after this welcome message. I click edit, send email message, intro to, just as a reminder. And I click add program message. This takes me to the front side of my email composer, where from here I could start constructing the message from a blank, maybe use a message template, message that I previously sent to somebody else, scheduled, draft, or other program message. It just so happens I have a draft ready to go here, and it's this one. And then it moves into this next wait step and then the conditional branch. Again, just showing off here that this is all drag and drop into the construction of your automated programs, your automated workflows. Key to note that we are not only keeping book on behavior, monitoring, tracking all behavior with your content, we're scoring it as well. Many of you on the call may be familiar with lead scoring, and depending on who you speak with, there's a variety of dissertations that are offered with regard to lead scoring. I like to keep it ridiculously simple. Lead scoring is attaching a basic point value to behavior. Person is sent a message, maybe they get a point. They open a message, they get 5 points. They view my home page, they get a point. They view my pricing page, they get 10 points. Now, even better, what does this do for sales? The prospecting day now begins by sales professionals calling on individuals that have the larger point values first, because we have to assume if a person has a high lead score, an elevated lead score, they're the ones that have been opening and clicking and viewing and downloading the most regarding our content. This is great for a guy like me because I don't profess to be the smartest sales professional on the sales floor, but I know that the people with the higher point values get my attention first. Sometimes it's right at heightened time of interest. We'll talk about email alerts, etc. So that when one of my prospects is on my pricing page and the phone rings, not only is it ridiculously creepy, I joke, but it's highly effective. Scoring rules can be changed on the fly. You will quickly become experts in lead scoring. You can change these for specific periods in time. If I only want to score behavior that happened in the last 60 days or in the last style time frame here, very useful. Who are individuals that are clicking, viewing, downloading in the last 60 days? I have the ability to do that. I have the ability to score standard behavior, clicked on a message, downloaded media. I have the ability to add higher values for custom behaviors. If they download a product specification, generic, they get 5 points. If they download a very specific detailed product description, product data sheet, they can get higher point values.
One of the great things also, Brandon, that we love about the lead scoring is, since everyone that's on the webinar, they're all Sugar users, is that you can go into Sugar and you can see well, you can see all of this, but you can see the lead score, and you can sort by lead score, and you can see what your hot prospects are, who's been crawling your site and doing things, in real time. So it's just, it's really amazing on the sugar side.
Great feedback, great information. We touched on individuals visiting your website. We took a look at some automation that's provided by way of workflows, drip campaigns, lead nurturing sequences. We talked about segmentation and the connector into Sugar. I think lastly, before I open it up to Q&A, just being cognizant of our time frame here, show off the email campaign creator. This is something that we get often because most organizations for us are graduating from a MailChimp. They're graduating from a Constant Contact, and user friendliness with an email composer is paramount. Well, confidently, I think we've got them taken care of. I jump into email campaigns. Oh, by the way, full service reporting on all of your messages. Who opened, who did not open, who clicked. As I click on new message, options, blank, draft, template. We have a large template library for you to use. Maybe start from a previously sent message, or I can upload my MailChimp Constant Contact templates here. Zip file, copy and paste HTML. If the message actually has a URL, we could grab, Act-On will grab all the HTML associated with that specific address. Here, let's just start with a blank message, just by way, again, of showing this off. Give the message title, creative subject line, customize who this message is coming from, customize who I want individuals to reply to, choose my recipients. Maybe this particular one is going to go to all my Sugar leads. But all Sugar leads, but maybe I want to suppress my hot leads for sales. They're towards the bottom of the funnel, possibly. I don't necessarily want to send them this introductory style or this particular message. We have subscription management. This is all customizable by you. Dramatically decreases your global opt-outs. Giving the user control of the style and type of messaging they want to receive from you, powerful. This particular one is going to be announcement of a workshop. I could attach it to a specific campaign if I wanted to. Into the design. And I have the ability here to add specific blocks into the message. So I've got a greeting block, I've got a rich text block, and I've got a signature block. If I wanted to put in some images here, I have the ability to do that. Maybe another rich text block above. Into my rich text block is my notorious, if not infamous, what you see is what you get editor. I can put my awesome content here. Calls to action, further images, change the layouts. All the way down to the HTML, if I'd like. We have a variety of stationery that can be used. This is all customizable by you as well. At which point we go to the review step. for a guy like me, completely dummy-proof, lets me know, hey, we can't deploy this. There's certain pieces that are missing. At which point I'll just get rid of that specific block there. It should review nicely. Some warnings. Warnings don't need to be fixed. The errors do. And I can move to the send step. I could send this now or deploy it at a future time and date. I click Submit Launch Request, and if it's in the queue, it'll deploy on that specific time and date. The ability to send test messages as well. Our email composer. With that, I'll go back to the front side of the platform. We have bounced around, rightfully so. I want to be conscious of time. We have 15 minutes. For now, let's open it up for questions and answers. Feel free to either chat those in, or, I mean, Jesse, I think we could almost open up the, open up the microphone if people want to just speak their question. We could do that as well.
Yeah, I had a private message that came in about
Q&A.
the connectors. The connectors, I know, obviously we know that it connects with Sugar, but it might be good to show a lot of the stuff. There you go.
A variety of native integrations. All of the usual suspects as far as CRM is concerned: Salesforce, Sugar, Dynamics, Infor, NetSuite, connection into your WebEx account, your GoToWebinar account. Social is taken care of. The Google Analytics integration that we touched on. We have an Outlook integration. We have a Gmail integration as well. I know there was a question with regard to Sugar. Let me hold that off to maybe to the very end. Any other questions or comments, constructive or otherwise?
What about the WordPress integration, Brandon? Can you maybe spend like a minute addressing how that would work?
Yeah, absolutely. We have a WordPress plugin that's available, and what this provides is, as you're constructing pages on your WordPress site, you're going to have the ability to bring in Act-On assets. Remember, all Act-On assets are monitorable, trackable, traceable. So if you have a link to, if you're building a specific page and you want to have a link to an Act-On landing page, you'll have a little toolbar there with all Act-On assets. Images, forms, landing pages, any of those assets are accessible inside of WordPress.
Okay, great. Thanks. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any other questions other than that question on what they would see in Sugar.
Yeah. Let's jump over into an instance of Sugar. Now we know what Act-On is doing, for the most part. How is this information syncing with Sugar, and what's accessible to the sales professionals? I say this time and time again. Marketing loves Act-On. The true beneficiaries, in my book, are the sales pros. Why? Because of information I'm going to show you here. First, Act-On is surfacing what we call hot prospects. Hot prospects are individuals over a specific period of time that have had the largest increase in lead score. It's not saying that William Anderson has the largest lead score in your database. It's saying over a designated time frame, his lead score has increased more than anybody else's. He gets a call first. My leads are populating here. No, never mind. I have the ability to sort my leads and my contacts by that Act-On lead score. That number is very important to me. Again, Review upon review. We're attaching a simple point value to behavior. In this particular case, William, of all my contacts, has clicked and downloaded and viewed the most. As this information is, my little internet guy is either on a coffee break or he's just forgetting about leads. But having this as far as contacts are concerned, outstanding. Having this as far as leads are concerned, ridiculously powerful. I get to see here leads by lead source on this particular dashlet. How many leads have been generated by specific sources that I've named. I've identified certain targets. I could sort these targets by lead score. So of my target list, I know who the most engaged is. As I pop open one of these individuals and I get actually down to the lead record, I need to move that out of the way because and I get into the contact record. Again, I get to see that lead score. I have the ability to go right into his entire behavioral profile. And again, my apologies. I'm hoping the coffee break ends soon. Here we go. To the right-hand side, I see all of that valuable data that Act-On brings to the table. All of the marketing touches he's had, email activity, sense opens, clicks, web page visits, landing page visits, document downloads, and on and on and on. This is a very good overarching view of behavior, a good summary view. Act-On provides a little link here inside of Sugar. The lead and contact view is going to be the same, that when I click it, that activity history, that Act-On behavioral profile shows up. And I can deep dive into the specific pages that this guy has taken a look at, or what specific media assets he's downloaded. I get to see his lead score and how he arrived at 126 points. Lastly, again, demo environment, but I think this is a good example. In chronological order, our first interaction with him in order all the way through our most recent touch. Other questions or comments with regard to?
Yeah, no, we could, Brandon, we could spend a lot of time showing the Sugar side of things, and we can go into that deeper at another time. But I noticed, we can see the send email function there next to the Act-On activity history. Can you kind of address that for a moment?
Yes. So I have the ability here to send William an email through the Act-On platform. So you see, as soon as I click send email, it takes me right to my Act-On email composer, where I could start with a blank message, or maybe I want to send William a message similar to a message that I sent to somebody else. I can do that. Or based on my conversation with William, my marketing department has provided me some templates to use, pre-designed messaging, the same, branding consistent, that could possibly answer his question or commentary that he had. So I don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. I could simply go in here and go, oh, that particular piece with regard to the Forrester research that he had, that he wanted to see, I could quickly deploy that to him here. When I hit select and send, this is going to populate in his activity history. It's also going to show as an Act-On email inside of the activity history here inside of sugar.
Phew. Yeah, I think that's the key thing to remember is, when you send an email with sugar, you obviously can track that email, but when you send an Act-On email from sugar, you're tracking all behavior. So it's like a sugar email on steroids.
Agree. We've got 5 minutes left. Any other questions and answers that I can provide prior to us conducting our standard feedback poll? Doesn't sound like it. Perfect. Jesse, I'm going to hand control back to you.
Great, thanks, Brandon. So again, thanks everyone for joining again, and just going to launch this final poll here as we wrap up.